Hey everybody, welcome to Battlefield 5. I thought I'd just do a quick live commentary video because I've got a ton of footage from my time with the game so far of all the different maps, a few different modes, different weapons, vehicular combat, and some kind of weird and funny moments as well that I wanted to just put together and kind of share my experience with the game so far. I did a video on the beta a little earlier. I had kind of mixed impressions with it, but so far in this, I'm really enjoying my time with it. Really enjoying moments like this. This guy just got a crotch full of dynamite straight on his balls, and then everyone just like lined up for me. I love those moments where people you just come up against like 5 or 6 people and they don't see you, and you either gun them all down or you fail miserably. But anyway, we're playing on the C point of Aerodrome at the moment, and I'm playing Assault using Gewehr 43. And some of these clips that I've chosen, I've also tried to pick and choose different classes of guns and things so that you can see what the different gameplay is like across different classes and how the attrition system works and the ammo conservation system and stuff like that, and squad play. So you can see I took damage there, and I actually took my own health pack. So down on the bottom is where your health is. You've got 100 health now and 0 health packs. You can only ever carry 1. And I took the health instantly and got my health straight back up. But I'm now, if that happens again, I can't regen. I need a squad mate to deliver me some meds, or to pick some up at a medical depot that's usually in the map somewhere that you have to either build or is already there. So I really love that system. You know, you can kind of take a few shots, heal yourself, but then, you know, if you keep taking shots, you really can't stay too far away from a squad mate. It really does encourage team play. And speaking of, the guy just dropped meds right in front of me. One of my squad mates, Deklik, he's the squad medic. And immediately I just pick it up, and I've got an extra pouch now in case anything goes wrong. I really think that system is great. The gunplay, as far as I can tell at least, you know, I play a lot of FPS games, and I actually play equal parts FPS than I do, well, you might not think so from my shooting there. I'm not actually a great aim, but I do alright for myself. But I'm equal parts an FPS gamer to strategy games. I play tons of them, and a lot of Battlefield, like 1,000 hours in Battlefield 3, or 500 I think in Battlefield 4, and a little bit less in Battlefield 1. It seems to be getting less and less with each game. But this game, so far, I've got about 50 even just from now, and I had Origin access, and then I decided to kind of go full premium, or premiere I think it's called, and get the game that way, and allow me to play it for a month to kind of decide if I do want to end up buying it. And I really like the game right now. We're playing on, like I said, Aerodrome. That place in there, this is one of the best maps for me. Really good combination of long range combat on the outsides, and then inside the air hangars themselves you've got this close quarters infantry mashup. And despite it being a slower paced Battlefield game because of the ammo conservation and the health, you can see it's still really twitchy in the gunplay and stuff, and I actually think it feels really good to shoot like in this game. I just think it feels amazing. I think it's smooth, but also you can feel the weight of the guns in some respects, and I really like that. Now here we've got a different clip. I was playing Assault before. This is Rotterdam, and we're playing Grand Operations, which is basically a game mode that has 3 separate game modes, and it can go on for quite a long time across these 3 different day scenarios. And it doesn't matter whether you win or lose in this game. The next day always kind of happens, but it just kind of gives the attacker or the defenders benefits whether or not who does better in the previous rounds. So in this one, day 1 is always the attackers have to plant bombs at bomb sites, the bomb sites being AA guns, and they kind of parachute in, find the bombs, and kind of run up and plant them. That was good to show off the fortification system. I took down a bomb carrier there. And even as a medic, you can still build fortifications really easily, and there's no resource or anything to do it. You just do it infinitely, and you kind of build up the sandbags and stuff like that, and then I could protect the bomb. Now, probably wasn't a good idea to peek over with an MP40 and try look at them. Now, this next clip here, this is day 2 of Rotterdam, so it's actually the same map, but we're in a different kind of part of the map, fighting over a different part of it. So it's a nice way to kind of break it up, actually, and a different lighting scheme to kind of make it feel a little bit different. And I've kind of gone behind enemy lines here, and I'm just going mental with my MP40. And I think it's pretty cool to show, like, I'm a medic, so I can just heal myself infinitely, but I don't have infinite ammo. I've actually only got 54 bullets left right now, so ammo conservation is definitely coming into play here. I'm on my own, essentially, like, there's no squad mates with me, and I'm just kind of, I'm doing really well, like, I'm gunning people down in the alleys here, but I'm running out of ammo. I can't seemingly do this forever, you know, at a certain point I'm gonna run out. I'm down to 23 rounds now. There's people still know where I am and coming for me, and I'm like, okay, I've got 16 bullets, we're gonna run forward and try to grab some ammo really quickly. But doing that meant that I exposed myself to, you know, much more enemies by going closer to them. So I think that is a good example of the ammo conservation system at play. Really, what I needed to do if I wanted to stay alive was fall back or have a squad mate with me there. And I think that's what generally this does. It really encourages squad play. You need a medic, always needs someone with ammo next to him, and an ammo guy probably needs a medic. and then the other two kind of interplay off each other. So it's really good to keep everyone together. And this is just a random clip basically of me driving a crocodile Churchill tank down a street and firing into one of these, I can't remember what they're called, but these big Nazi tanks is what I call them. And essentially just missing my shots, and I had glancing blow after glancing blow where the shot would just ricochet off and you get that ping noise. Really, really cool. There was 5 tickets to go, so I didn't really mind just kind of like throwing my tank into him. Now, this is day 3 of Rotterdam, so having won or lost, you then push on. The Germans then bomb the city, and the city map changes into what's called Devastation. It's just set in Rotterdam. It's actually a completely different map, though. Don't know why they kind of presented it as 2 linked maps. Really, it's a different map, just in the same city. And it's one of my favorite maps. I love these kind of torn up, desolated, devastated maps. These are some of my favorites. High infantry combat. Now, the cool thing with this mode in itself is it has separate modes within itself. Is that it has, you have to fight over the A point, which is in the cathedral. Whoever takes that then goes on to deliver bombs to 3 different bomb sites. And if you take all bomb sites, you win the game. But if I can defend these bomb sites that they're now attacking, we then push back to the cathedral, have another tug of war over that, and then push again to the other side. So it's kind of like whoever can take the cathedral gets to then attack the other enemy's base, and vice versa. So you can't plant your bombs until you own the cathedral. I think it's a really cool mode. It's kind of this tug of war mode. It's not explained very well. I feel like a lot of people in the chat in game didn't really know what was going on, and it's just so hectic. That's what I'm trying to show here in this clip. It's just that I'm a medic and I do not have time to revive people right now. I'm sure people are screaming like, well, why don't you revive anybody? It's because there's people everywhere around, and I've got my LMG squad mate just lying on his back, just going mental with his MG34, I think he had. It's just so cool. Like, operations for me is my favorite because so many people are densely packed together, and it gives me those Operation Locker, Operation Metro vibes from Battlefield 3 and 4. And that's why I really like that real sense of front lines when you get these modes together. Conquest is really open, and I feel like you never really get that. Now, I've switched here. I threw a Molotov kind of grenade, incendiary grenade, over the wall there, and I've got an STG. This is the gun that was kind of popularized in the beta, or used in the beta by a lot of people. And I went, it's one of my first times using it in the main game. I just hit level 2 there. And I just found this like little pack of 5 people, none of them paying attention to what's going on. But this is what operations does. It just creates like, I don't know why none of them shot at me. They were looking at me. It's like they were just watching me murder them down. That was a great clip though, or just a great moment for me, because I just felt like that struggle that we were having at that B point, I just managed to get in around behind them and just clear out like a group of 5. And it just felt so good because it's so hectic from their perspective. They probably just, for whatever reason, didn't really know what was happening. Now we're on to Narvik here, and Narvik is the map that was used in the beta, so people have seen a lot of it already. I don't have much footage of Narvik because of that, and I don't really have much footage of me as a sniper. I suck at sniping. I don't typically ever do it. This kill here actually gave me level 1 recon. Like, that's literally the most sniping I've pretty much ever done. I have started recently using a 6x scope though, and I've been doing way better with that, especially on that aerodrome map on the outskirts. But typically most of my Narvik footage here is in planes. So I noticed there was a tank on the ground there, lined up my little bombing run, and boom, super hard to see. I find it so difficult to see in this game what is on the ground, especially on snow maps like this. Things are just so far away. But I've heard people in bombers have been doing extremely well, something like 90 kills to 0 deaths and things like that. It seems insane to me. Because you've got flak guns and fighter planes and stuff all trying to gun you down all the time. I don't know how people do it. But with the kind of 3D reticule you have in bombers, it does seem pretty easy to kind of, once you know where a target is, you can pretty easily take it out. So maybe they should increase that radius or something, because it does seem like a little bit too much of a pinpoint location on the ground. Now, I think one reason bombers and planes with 2 seats are so powerful is because, like for instance in this clip, this guy just hops into his back seat and starts shooting at the back of it. And I kind of forgot people could do that and misjudged it. His plane slowed down to a crawl, because when they hop in the back, I think they basically turn off the engine as they do that, and the plane just kind of floats and stops almost in midair. We're on to Hamada now, and I'm using a Spitfire. And Spitfires are such good planes, man. They're so good. They're good, really great fighter planes. They don't have a second seat, and it's just a lot of fun. So I just thought we'd quickly kind of explain the vehicular combat in this, or at least the air combat. You know, it's not War Thunder. It's not realistic. It's quite arcadey, but I do find it quite fun nonetheless. Essentially, you can just self-repair in the air as you're flying and turning. You couldn't do that in Battlefield 1. You had to stay straight, but you can actually turn and repair now. And then there's airfields with deposits of like ammo and health, and replenish all your stuff. So that guy just flies over his airfield. He's able to hop into the back of his plane, start shooting me, but I flew under him. But anyway, when you fly over an airfield, you get your fresh instant repair and you get fresh ammo and stuff like that, because you do run out of ammo. So if you stay out really far away from them or up really high, you have to come back down at certain points. This other plane here, again, I started learning because the guys just kept doing it. They just kept hopping into the back of their plane. This guy just hopped into the back and started shooting out. So I learned, obviously, that if you just go under them, they can't really aim down. They can't aim down. They can't steer their plane. So every time he went to do that, I self-repaired, got myself up to 70 HP here, flew down under, like really low down below, and managed to just slow my plane down enough that I could at least clip his wings off and take him down. So it really frustrates me that people do that. It feels like a little cheesy or whatever. I hope they kind of address it, because it just sucks, like, the way people do that. But you can't really blame them for doing that. Why wouldn't you? Now, this is me actually going against the same plane, but different players, obviously. There's a player flying it and a player shooting at the same time. And the Spitfire, I just want to show off, the Spitfire is just so good that you're able to just gun them down if you just keep your distance, basically. I wasn't even that far away, really. In terms of realistic flight simulation, it's not very realistic, but I don't really mind. It feels really fun nonetheless. It's the most fun I've had in planes since probably Battlefield 4. I just didn't enjoy Battlefield 1's plane combat at all. And the way planes go down sometimes looks amazing. Sometimes it looks bad. They just kind of hit the ground and bounce. Other times like that plane went straight down and just smashed into a bridge, and the bridge broke up. And this is another instance on Arras. Now we're on Arras, a different map, where it just shredded along the field. It looks so cool the way he kind of came in from the edge of the mountain and just shredded along the ground. I just thought it was such an impressive look to it on how it went down. So we're playing on Arras, as I mentioned earlier, and this is one of my favorite maps because it's got these kind of broad, sweeping, open fields on the extremities of the map, and then there's kind of more dense urbanization in the center of the map, which is really great for, you know, close quarters infantry combat. And I thought this was a good kind of clip to show because this vehicle, this tank here with two people in it, it's just kind of gone a little bit too far. They're on their own, they're trying to take a point on their own, and it just kind of made me realize, like, it's very rare that I ever see a tank successfully take something on its own unless there just happens to be nobody there. And it's kind of indicative of the design of this game. Like, even if you're a good player in a tank, you will have to eventually return to a tank depot to get more ammo, to get more health and supplies. Because even the instant repairs that tanks have, they need to get them at tank depots. Players need to get their ammo, players need to get health, and even the planes need to come back to airfields to get their ammo and health. So it's kind of like in every facet of the game, no matter what way you play, you're always grounded to come back to these certain areas or to rely on squad mates to help you out. And I think that's just such a key important thing in this game that's making it feel really good and really increasing the team-based nature of the game. So it's just, I think it's a really great change for the, you know, for the design of the franchise for the better. Previously, tanks in other Battlefield games could sit really far back up forever and just stay always really out on the sides of the map and just kill people from range, and nobody could do too much about it, and they could just instant repair forever. This is tank gameplay here where I'm on Twisted Steel now, and you know, I'm getting hammered because I'm making the same mistake. I was going into C basically by myself, and I'm just getting shredded by all these buildings. I can't see in them, I can't react quickly enough. I needed to stay further back, but I've managed to get a heal off, and I'm just going to do some self-repair now. And just thought this was a pretty good clip as well, because spotting is basically being removed. I'm like always still checking my radar, and someone actually on my squad or someone has pointed out there's something nearby, and it was actually another tank. I didn't realize it until like it was a bit too late. I basically drove into it, but luckily I had a tank friend in the distance that also helped take it out. So, you know, the removal of spotting creates those cool moments where you go around a corner and there's a whole battalion of troops. It's like, oh my god. Whereas previously that kind of stuff would just be shown on the radar. Okay, so I just really want to quickly go through the progression and the customization that's available in the game right now. It's pretty simple stuff. Every gun can rank up 10 times, and as you rank it up, you get new skins available for that gun, and you can apply the skin to 5 different parts of the gun individually, so you can kind of mix and match a little bit if you want. There's 8 different guns per class, and you can also rank up classes individually to get the later guns. You need to be level 20 to get the last gun of each class, I guess. And as you rank the gun up individually, you can then specialize it. So the first 4 ranks are just for specializations, and then beyond that, beyond the first 4 ranks, you can then start to get different skins and assignments. And the assignments are pretty interesting because they're kind of like rewards for completing objectives, mini objectives in the game. So an assignment for a certain gun might be like, kill 20 players with this gun in 1 round, or kill 100 in total, and that'll then reward you with another kind of skin, like the gold plated skin. So the hardest ones to get are the mastery ones, I guess, currently in the game. You have to have a level 10 gun, and then you have to do certain things with that, and then you get the gold skins. Now, you could go straight to the Armory, which is where probably the microtransactions will come in later on with Tides of War, but it's not there at the moment. It's just all in-game currency, which is pretty earnable at the moment. It's pretty easy to get that stuff. And that generally gives you kind of items and cosmetics to wear on your character, and it gives you some skin sets for guns as well. So I just have a quick montage of kind of going through and dressing my character different there. I've kind of got desert outfit on him, and then we can change our character. There's, I don't know, about 15 or 20 total characters in the game. Of all ethnicities and different genders, and I've got like a female sniper here in this next clip, where that's kind of the sniper that I had going at the moment. I had her face covered, you know, shaved head. She just kind of slipped into the army. People thought she was just a young teen, but I've kind of just like dressed her up to be more desert outfit here, and I kind of applied a skin to my gun really quickly. So it just shows you the kind of two different types of, you know, it's the same sniper, it's the same face and same girl, it just looks completely different. So I think the customization is actually in a really good place at the moment. It's really fun to use, and I look forward to seeing them build upon it, as long as it doesn't go too outlandish and crazy. I like where it's at the moment. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. I'm having a ton of fun with Battlefield 5. It's vastly improved since I played the beta, and I'm really enjoying it. I made a quick little montage when I was in spectator mode of following this one plane around for a while, so I hope you enjoy it.